Greetings, everyone. Today we're going to explore writing linear inequalities, specifically in slope intercept form. So inequalities means we're going to have our inequality symbols that we've worked with recently. Let's go through one slide of steps. These steps will help you on your homework and on your quiz. To write a linear inequality, you're going to look at the graph and determine the following information. First, you're going to determine the slope. You're going to do that by just counting rise over run. And then you also have to make sure, is it positive or negative? Is it going up or is it going down? That'll help you with your signs on your slope. Second, you need to determine your y-intercept, your b, meaning where is it on the y-axis? I'm going to write that down. Where is it on the y-axis? That's what we're talking about when we say y-intercept. Here's what we need to work on. Here's what's new. We've shaded our graphs before, but now we're going to look at the shading and we're going to say, hey, if I've shaded below the line on the graph, then we say y is less than. Versus if it looks like the line is shaded above or higher, then we use the symbol greater than. And the fourth piece that I think you'll find easy based on our previous lessons is to determine if we're going to have a bar under our inequality or not. So remember, if it's dashed, then there's no bar, and if it's solid, then you have an or equals to a bar underneath. That's what that means, okay? So a dashed line is just greater than or less than. A solid line is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So let's work our way through this example here. So first step, we want to determine our slope. So I need to count my rise over my run. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3. I'm going to run 1, 2. So my m, my slope, is 3 over 2. Step 2, your b value. Where is it on the y-axis? I'm going to use purple. If I look at the y-axis, I exist on the y-axis at -5. Step 3, we are going to look at if we shaded above or below. What would you say on this one? It looks like I shaded above. If I look at this, this is all higher than the line, above the line. The y values are greater than the line. So that means it's going to be greater than or equal to. Step 4, you're going to decide if it's dashed or solid. This line is dashed, which means no bar underneath. Now we want to actually write our equation. Now all of our equations today, we're going to write in the y equals mx plus b form. We're going to keep doing that so you've had lots of practice. So first of all, our m, we figured that out and it was 3/2. Our b value was -5. And my sign we decided was y is greater than because it's shaded above and it's dashed. So that right there is going to take the most work. That's what's new in this lesson. All right, the next example we're going to look at, we're going to do some drag and drop. So we're still looking for the key information. So first let's talk about my m. My m from dot to dot. I'm going down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. 1 over 1 is 1, but my line is going down, which means my m is -1. Second step, b value. Where do I cross the y-axis? Well, if I look on the y-axis, I exist at a -5. So -5 is my b value. What's new is my inequality sign. Does it look like I shaded above or below the line? I think above, which means it's going to be greater than or equal to. Let's decide, is it dashed or solid? Step 4 says it's dashed. So I want to use the inequality that is just greater than. Y is greater than, or all the y values bigger than the line are shaded. All right, let's look at one more example. Step 1, determine your slope. I'm going to use these dots provided because it's kind of hard to tell maybe where it crosses perfectly. So always use the points if given. If I take a look, my rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My run is 1, 2, 3. 5 does not divide by 3, so I can't simplify it. And my line is going up, so it is a positive 5/3. Going up and right is positive. Step 2, where do you cross the y-axis? Let's look at the y-axis. My starting, my beginning, my y-intercept is at positive 2. And lastly, my symbol. First of all, does it look like I shaded above or below the line? Well, look at those y values. I shaded the bigger ones. The 3, the 4, the 5, the 6 on the y-axis are shaded. So that means I shaded above. I want bigger. I want greater than. Greater than is the bottom two options. Then I need to decide for step 4, is it solid or dashed? It's solid. So I shaded above the line and created a solid line. So I need y is greater than or equal to that value. Not bad, right? So the key thing again is it solid or dashed, and did I shade above or below? One last note here that'll help you. When we're talking about left or right, if I shade left, that's less than. Whereas if I shade on the right side of a vertical line, that would be greater than. Let's talk about a horizontal line. If I'm talking about a horizontal line and I shade above, that's a much more obvious above, so that would be greater than. Versus if I shade below, that would be a less than. So just be careful. When we have a vertical line, this one's going to be tough, okay? You're talking left is less than. Ooh, left is less than. That L sound helps. Right is greater than. All right, as always, make sure you check out Google Classroom. What do you have to work on? What do you need? What are the expectations? Check out PowerSchool. What needs to be done? What do we need to catch up on? I'm trying to keep it as updated as possible. And I'm going to be reaching out to you to visit with you about what we need to get done. So keep an eye out for email, texts, calls, and until next time, I hope you have a great one.